Hey race, why Mueller kept getting asked about a mysterious Maltese professor. Breaking news: Korea fires projectile, says South Korea Joint Chiefs. Details to come. In a moment that quickly made the rounds on conservative media on Wednesday, Republic. Jim Jordan Sharp, the Ohio Republican, pressed the former special counsel to detail who told on the Trump campaign that the Russians had dirt on Hillary Clinton. When Mueller said, "Yes you can, because you wrote about it, you gave us the answer," Jordan said, the name of the shadowy Maltese academic kept coming up on Wednesday as Republicans accused Mueller of covering up how the FBI came to investigate the Trump campaign's alleged ties to Russia, a popular talking point for Trump allies. As the House Intel, Boris Johnson makes an appearance at this hearing. News is trying to prove that the investigation was started wrongly, shows a photo of him with Joseph Mifsud. Mifsud's name would have been familiar for regular consumers of Fox News and conservative outlets that have spent 2 years dissecting what they believe was a deep state attempt to take down the Trump campaign. The London-based Papadopoulos' interactions with Mifsud, and his allegation that the Maltese professor was an FBI plant, has been at the center of some Republicans' efforts to discredit Mueller's probe. Papadopoulos: "People are very fascinated about what I have to say, people are just like you, their mouths are dropping," he told Time on April 17. They've never heard that. Perhaps anticipating this line of questioning, Mueller made it clear in his opening statement that he would be unable to address questions about the opening of the FBI's Russia investigation because it is the subject of an ongoing review by the Justice Department. That did not stop Jordan and Nunes, both vocal Trump supporters, from trying. "He's the guy who starts it all, and when the FBI interviews him, he lies 3 times, and yet you don't charge him with a crime," Jordan exclaimed, angrily listing others charged by Mueller, including Michael Flynn and 13 Russians no one's ever heard of. "But the guy who puts the country through this whole saga, starts it off, for 3 years we have lived this now, he lies and you guys don't charge him," he said. "I am not sure I agree with your characterization," Mueller tersely responded, but Jordan's performance was already going viral in conservative corners of the internet with headlines like "Watch Jim Jordan Steals the Show," calls into question entire basis of probe, and "Brutal Jim Jordan grills Mueller about why guy who put this whole story in motion lied but wasn't held accountable." On Wednesday after, why didn't Mueller charge Joseph Mifsud for lying to the FBI?
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,